Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is made in the 1980s. Today is the Wang Dang Doodle Takeover. I am today your host, Wang Dang. Please say the damn doodle. And today, my co-host for the first time. Introduce yourself, sir.
It is me, tis I, cat from the port, the creator now riding shotgun on this luxury vehicle that we call Made in 1980s. And I'm just happy to be here to see what's going to happen because I prepared no notes, but I am prepared to have a great conversation.
This is going to be an interesting one. This is pause if you need to. The official cherry popping.
I was like, when you say it like that, yeah.
This is that, unfortunately, or fortunately. This may be the opening to some big things.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, there is always a progression, and there is always an order, and you are officially at the next tier. So let's see what happens even beyond this actual episode.
That's it. This may be opening to some big things, though. But
that's what she said.
For sure. But today, it was something that was like, I don't know, it was weighing heavy on my head, like as to how fucking astronomical this shit had actually gotten. And I didn't really realize how big it was until I was old enough to look back on it.
Okay.
Like, it may even have been the verses. You know, as I sit back and look back, like, shit, these boys actually had us in a fucking chokehold in the Midwest.
Absolutely.
Like we've talked Cash Money, we've talked No Limit, but we could not escape how the Diplomats kind of molded some shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say mold. I wouldn't even say kind of. I wouldn't even say kind of. And if we're going to say the Diplomats, you have to follow it up with the ever popular, the ever mainstay, especially in hip hop culture, Dipset, bitch.
Got to.
It has to happen.
You have to. But I want to start from the beginning. I don't want to jump the guns. I don't want to leave nothing out. You remember 1990? No. Early 2000s. Hold on, we have some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you froze on me, but it's all good.
Okay, there we go. We had I personally wasn't even supposed to be there.
Okay.
But do you remember lunchroom? Banging on lunch tables. No pun intended, but shout out to banging on lunch tables.
Yeah.
Doing the beat to Cameron's Let Me Know.
You know what? I feel like I should, but that's the only one that escapes me. And I know it happened because it was the Monday night it was the football theme. And then it was the yeah.
Like I wasn't supposed to be there. I was actually supposed to be in class, but shit happens.
Of course.
So with that being said, your introduction to the man they call Killer Cameron, was it Confessions of Fire?
Yeah, for sure. Cause I 90s, we're going back mid to early 90s. I was a big East Coast just rap fan, just in general. So by the time we get to 96, 97, I've purchased, and by this time, probably with my own money, every Bad Boy release. One of those releases happens to be Harlem World. And even though Cam is not on the album, excuse me, I'm going to say Lil Kim's Hardcore is out.
Mm-hmm.
And it might have been an episode of Rap City where Big Laz was the host, where Cam and Mace are like walking up Harlem, like just walking the street of Harlem with Big Laz. And I'm like, oh God, these guys are the luckiest guys on earth. They're walking with Big Laz. Like, that's super fire. I totally geeked out when I got on a Zoom for a podcast episode I was producing too, by the way.
Oh shit! Shout out. Hey.
Yeah, for sure. And I believe in that moment, you know, they were talking about the songs that he had written, and I want to say he had written the Crush on You joint. I think it's just the hook, or maybe some of the verse too.
Well, technically he wrote "Crushed on You" solely for C's.
Yes, you know what I'm saying.
When he was supposed to be on it,
right? So they were like, you know, so it was that, but Confessions of Fire definitely the first time I knew I heard Cam, because that moment over my head, oh, okay, yeah, Crush on You. I was like, yeah, Lil Kim. I'm still admiring the cover. I'm not even registering the content at that time. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean anything to me. But 357, for me, that is the introduction of Cameron to me, and him and Mace running through New York. Like, I think the police are in hot pursuit of them.
yeah.
And so like that is my introduction. And when I heard that joint, and this is the era, young people, where all I had to hear was one joint, maybe two joints. And if I liked them, I felt they were fire, I'm going to Earwax and I'm buying your album. That's all it took for me.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you, because 357 was, man, bonkers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I will openly say I wasn't a fan of Horse and Carriage though.
Really? Okay, so you and my cousin Corey are officially on the same train. Why did you not like Horse and Carriage? I just want to hear your perspective.
Okay, I'm gonna go deeper. I didn't have a problem with Cam, but it was a lot of track selection.
Okay, I can see that.
In his first album, like, you can tell that with Entertainment, they was trying to push the popularity narrative with his track selection. And with him just getting on, he didn't argue.
Now, I kind of feel you on that. I'm going to push back just a little bit. And by the way, Confessions of Fire, because I knew we were going to do this. I had to pull them out. Pause. So, you know, because
hold on. Before you go, you can't just show the cover and not show the actual disc.
Oh, come on now. Because
we got to show that you really do this shit.
You know what I'm saying? Because we really copped. We really copped it. This ain't a prop. This ain't just something we do.
Really do this shit.
You know what I'm saying? See, they look no scratches on them either. God dang it. You know what I'm saying? We keep the CDs immaculate. We keep the compact disc immaculate here. Okay. So okay. Now I will admit the Horse and Carriage beat isn't like the hardest beat I've ever heard. But I totally understood why the beat was the beat, and not for nothing. And again, I know he gets a lot of controversy and it's critiqued now, but if it wasn't for Diddy, beats like Horse and Carriage don't exist, because it's the whole blend of the hip hop and R&B. It's the get the bop, you know what I'm saying? Get your shiny suits out, you know what I'm saying? Pop Cristal. That's what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? So this for me is just an understandable. It was almost like, hey, well, this is the Bad Boy formula, because look, hey, yo, Big and Un were tight. You know, Big is the reason why wanted to sign Cam. So all of that made sense. And Mace sending Cam to Big versus to Puff to get this whole situation. Like, okay, I was like, oh wow, so that's interesting. I wasn't mad at Horse and Carriage. I'll tell you what, the video for me sold me more than the actual song.
Okay.
Because the video damn near looks like that source cover of 1998 is just mad cameos through the entire video. Like, it's the only time I've ever seen Cannabis dance was in the Cameron Horse and Carriage video. You'll never see that again.
I missed that. I'm gonna have to double back on that.
Yeah, like he there, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, even Cannabis was going crazy in 97, 98. Even he took time to party and bullshit with the crew. You dig what I'm saying?
For the real.
So, you know, I think, well, quick story about my cousin Corey. My cousin Corey hates the song Horse and Carriage. and it's because of the second verse where he was like, where him and Mace was, and you don't know? Like, that's like the little boy. He was like, yo, I hate that. He was like, when they was in the car, he was like, yo, he's like, you like that Horse and Carriage by Cameron? I was like, yeah. I was like, I think it's cool. He was like, I hate that shit. I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, I just don't get it with that. And you don't know? And you don't know? And you don't know?
Bro, it was
upset.
It was so bubblegummy, dude. It was, and like I said, and I can't speak for Cam. I don't know that man from a hole in the wall, but it just seemed like with the direction that they was trying to push, being that he was just I'm trying to get on, and somebody's actually giving me the opportunity, I'm not going to fight back.
I dig it. And
I'm just going to accept it, and I'm going to roll with it. Make the best of it.
And, you know, and that's, and I think that's a fair assessment, especially when you think about how polar opposite Horse and Carriage from 357 sounds.
Yes.
Like, that's 357 has some of the hardest, most ruthless lyrics like ever, like ever for a debut song for an artist. When my man said, hey, yo, this blew my mind that this was on TV. And because, like, this is, and you know, y'all think censorship is a problem now. In the 90s, you couldn't hear this song. It was more beat playing and B-roll than it was of the actual song. Because when I bought the CD, and when I realized he said, I'll go another route, kidnap your family, make your brother eat your mother out. After I done dug her out, needle, drug her out, pillow, smother her out. You don't give a fuck about. I'm with a thug about. I was like, oh, that's what he said? Oh my God. Like, I was like, yo, that's crazy. That is crazy. Like, I didn't believe he said that. I was like, now Horse and Carriage makes a whole lot of sense. At least I heard most of that rap on BET and MTV when the video dropped.
Yeah, like, dude, like you said, polar opposite. But 357 let you know, okay, this guy does get busy though.
Yeah, facts.
Like, he does get busy. You know, then, like I said, we kind of already talked about it was sports, drugs, and entertainment.
Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Because you're making a great point about Confessions of Fire, but we got to talk about some of the other joints on this album. Just real quick.
Absolutely.
Listen, my favorite joint on here was Shanghai. That was the first time I had my uncle dying, laughing at just the intro of a song ever. This is one of those rare moments. Hey, listen, I know that Swizz Beatz, y'all got Rough Riders Anthem really high for his production, but dog, I love Glory with Noriega, and I love Shanghai on this album. And I want to say, I'm going to check the credits because, you know, again, the CD is real. I'm going to check and make sure. that he did both of these songs, because Shanghai was the first time I ever heard like the Oriental sound that don't like he did that, and he also did Juelz did both of them. Hey, look at that, boy. You don't need this, but I think what needs to be said most about Cam, and this is the only reason why I was saying about pushing back on the actual formatting of songs, because I think Cam, because of hanging with Mace and knowing Big and seeing what they were doing, I really think some of these songs he truly wanted to make. Like Feels Good with Usher, A Pimp's a Pimp with Jermaine Dupri, Me and My Boo with Charlie Baltimore, which my homegirl Keisha Nicole is the only person I know that knows that song front to back. I was like, how do you even fucking know this song like that? And she's from Cali, so it ain't even like no New York thing.
Right.
But Wrong Ones and D Ruggs, those were great storytelling records. For me,
I fuck with D Ruggs.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how people view this album looking back, especially because, you know, obviously another movement takes place, but this is a really solid effort from Cam. And for the most part, it's without Mace. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Mace being on the hook for a Horse and Carriage, and I think he's on another joint. I think it's like We Got It. But other than that, you know, he got a Kelly Price feature on here. Again, Usher's on the album. They're doing a lot of like upbeat, like just like not poppy, but commercial type of joints. And not to mention, Cam is saying a lot of pause-worthy things all over this album. Like super pause. Confessions is one of the grossest songs I've ever heard in my life. I had to say that. That's one of the grossest songs I've ever heard in my life. And if you thought my cousin didn't like Horse and Carriage, when Confessions came on more, he was like, this what we listening to? I was like, okay, I can't even front this. No.
Hey, one of my favorite things about watching It Is What It Is when him and Mace go back and forth about their old lyrics.
Man, hey, listen. It is hilarious.
Hey, that's one of my favorite things.
Man.
Because boy, they were saying some bullshit.
Yeah, hey, straight up. But no, babe, but nothing quite like Cam. It's funny that Paul's event in Harlem, and yet this album would be the bane of his existence if it dropped today.
Hey, Cook, get him out of here.
Pan steered. You're done. Well, I'm sorry, I digress. Please proceed.
No, it's fine. But I'm really only doing this because I'm trying to lead up to what we really want to talk about. You got to know the origin story.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to know the origin story.
Absolutely.
I said, so 2000, he drops Sports, Drugs, and Entertainment.
Yep.
That was when I heard Let Me Know.
Okay.
When I heard Let Me Know, I'm like, I'm fucking with Cam'ron. That's when I knew. Because like I said before, being that young, my hip-hop was what I heard through my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, he was No Limit crazy.
Yeah. Freeport things.
So I'm not getting no West Coast. I'm not getting no East Coast still. But luckily, I'm old enough to watch BET on my own. So when Let Me Know dropped, and of course, that day in the lunchroom didn't make it no better. Shout out to you.
Oh, my Harlem niggas, my BK niggas. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
SDE. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, I know you're thinking. No scratches on that hoe either.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, hey, You know, I'm with you though. Because this I think is this is, you know what? For me, this is the turning point for Cam. This is like, oh, this is a whole new Cameron that exists. Like now, after this. And I will meanwhile, while you are now just getting privy to this in the lunchroom, this is the music because I'm light on No Limit, like super light on No Limit. I got like 2 or 3 No Limit albums as we get to 99, 2000. So I'm like, yo, no way I'm buying Mr. Serv-On when this is out. Like, there's no way.
Wise choice.
You know
Wise choice. Well, fortunately, I was on the other end, and nasty work.
You don't get that Cain and Abel? No, nigga. I don't want Cain and Abel. I want Cam Ron. How about that?
Well, I'm telling you, oh man. Off topic, but that's one of the reasons I get so pissed off with the Silk the Shocker slander. Bro, we're not gonna act like Mr. Serv-On didn't exist.
Right. Hey.
Let's cut it the fuck out.
You look at that. You look at the No Limit roster, and you can't tell me that Silk the Shocker is out the top 5. I'm sorry.
Fuck out.
I don't believe it.
But
oh man.
All of this man's hard work and a few choice bad decisions led us to the greatness that is called the Diplomats.
Yes. Question for you.
Okay.
Did you know that Juelz Santana was actually on the SDE album?
I did not.
See, this is why I truly respect the rebrand and the development of the Diplomats in general. I don't know if you can see it, Wang, but on the back of this cover, what does that look like to you?
I can't tell.
So good, because cameras, right? It's Cam's hand, and he has Diplomats tattooed on his hand in 2000. 99, 2000. He has it tattooed right there on there.
Okay, I can make it out now. At first, I couldn't make it out.
Yeah. And there's a joint on here, which is actually a staple in Cam's catalog. Double Up.
Double Up.
Juelz Santana is featured on Double Up. Now, he's not Juelz Santana. He's just Juelz. And
oh, shit. I guess so.
Hey, listen. It's fine because even when I first started, when I first thought I heard Juelz Santana, I really realized it wasn't the first time I heard Juelz Santana. And this is where I get deep into my rap nerd bag. Because we got this album, right? I forget he's on here. This is also the first time I think Jim Jones raps on this, and Zeke does hooks. Like, literally, this is Sports, Drugs, Entertainment, SDE. This is the blueprint for what the Diplomats do moving forward in more ways than like 5. But that was great. So, although you're hosting, I want to ask you a question. When is the first time you heard the Diplomats, whether it be Cam and Juelz, Cam, Juelz, and Jim, Zeke, any combination? Where was the first time you heard these gentlemen?
The first time I heard them, I was walking in the Chicago style. And I was walking in the Chicago style, and shout out to my best friend Marshall. He was playing a K Slade mixtape. He was playing a K Slade mixtape. Oh man, I can't remember the fucking song though. But I know for a fact it was on a Drama Kings mixtape.
Okay.
I can't remember the song off the top of my head though, but it was Jimmy. It was
Okay.
Jones. I'm like, fuck is this? Like it wasn't even that nigga yet, you know.
Right.
Who is this? Oh, this Dipset. Or no, the Diplomats. He didn't call them Dipset yet.
Yeah. The branding ain't in yet.
The branding ain't in there yet. He was calling this the Diplomats. Fuck is the Diplomats? He was like, this Cameron and his boys.
Mm-hmm.
So being that he worked at Chicago style, all the mixtapes that dropped because it was already bootlegged anyway.
Yeah.
He got it for free.
Nice.
We lived together.
Mm.
So every Friday, hey, all night listening session.
For sure.
But man, I wonder, it's gonna come to me. The song's gonna come to me.
Well, check it out. Because what I want to do is, just like I had no idea that Juelz was on SDE at the time, I'm gonna tell you, and again, because I'm glad you said that about K Slay, because even on this, ladies and gentlemen,
not the backstage.
This is Backstage, the Hard Knock Life soundtrack. DJ Clue presents Backstage, the mixtape. Come on, man. Now look, the case broke. That's how they because But hey, listen. Two things that are very important about this CD here. And even though the case is broke, ain't no scratches on that hoe. You did. You better make sure you know that. All right. The two very important things about this CD here, and this is where, if people are unfamiliar about why DJ Clue is in like top 3s and 5s of DJs of all time, two things happen because of this project. One, it's the beginning of Jay-Z versus Nas. Two, this is the first time I think I hear Juelz Santana, because him and Cameron have a song called Hate Music on this joint, and so many memorable bars. But the thing that made Juelz stick out to me and was like, yo, I want to hear what else he has to say. Because the Hate Music is literally, it would be disrespectful to call it Great Value Diplomatic a Dipset anthem. It's not Great Value Dipset anthem, because I love this song, by the way. Because when Juelz says, you dudes is chumps, talking about you live like thugs, you be home watching Midnight Love. No, bitch, you and your hand making midnight love. It's over, dog. You need to just give life up. I was like, yo, this nigga hard. I was like, yo, this nigga cold. Who is this? Then I started reading. I was like, Juelz Santana. And then I happened to go back. I was like, yo, he was on SDE. But I still don't even realize that till later. And then Cam, this is also the CD. So it's three things. Cam officially switches up the flow right here. It's not the fast pace, kind of like very syllable heavy shit. Like, not like how he was used to doing it. It's not the Confessions of Fire flow, and it's not necessarily all the SDE flow. He's perfected the That's Me flow, and he's about to go crazy on this, because he starts off this shit. He says, I got the gun and clip, running shit. I run change, run range, run up your block, make you run. Then I run things. Piss in the cup, come on, fuck a drug test. I'm on my block, knockout kings, slug fest. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, shit. I was like, yo, okay, here we fucking go. I officially wanted to hear whatever Cam had next after this. I was like, oh my God. Like, because that flow to me was crazy. And this is 2000. This is 2000. So meanwhile, as the Jay versus Nas beef is about to kick up because of Memphis Bleak, and now with me hearing Juelz Santana, what I believe is it actually is, because Juelz versus Juelz Santana, you'll never believe it until you hear it. It literally does sound like a different person. And then Cam with the new flow, I was like, oh my God, this is about to take off and go crazy. I can't wait to see what's next.
Okay, I'm glad you said it, because I did want to talk about that when Cam decided to switch the flow up.
Yeah.
Like, when you play Confessions of Fire, SDE, and like you said, the rebrand, I got a squad behind me. I just switched the flow up. I'm on some grown man shit with, like, I'm not, again, I use it loosely with this bubblegum ass. These
sick oodles and noodles, rape that poodle. You know what I mean?
When Cam switched the flow up, I was at odds. It wasn't that I didn't like the flow, and I had confidence in his ability. But Cam did go through that. It's like he didn't care. I can say what the fuck I want to say. Like when I see people do the whole camera, oopie doopie, Scooby Dooby, ooey booey. Like, it's like, nigga, what are we saying? But I'm here.
Yeah, hey. Hey, listen, not for nothing though, Wang. I think Cam is the originator. He's the godfather of swag rap, though. Like, to the point where it don't matter what I say, nigga. The shit is hot because I feel it. Like,
like, not until I was older, did that part on was I'm ready, when he was like, live piece of pizza, eating the piece of pizza. You can't be where I be, dog. You need pizza. I couldn't. My childish brain couldn't register what he was saying, and then one day I was just like, "Oh, he talking that shit."
Straight up, because he is though. Because he
talking that shit right now. But at first I was just like, "No, that nigga just saying shit." He just saying shit because it rhymes, and I was convinced.
Yeah,
I was convinced he just saying shit because it rhymes. And then 10 years down the road, I'm listening to the song because I love the song. Oh, this nigga in motherfucker, this nigga in Italy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? At the Leaning Tower Pizza, having the pizza. You can't be here. You need the visa. Like, nigga, like, oh, he going crazy. He going crazy.
That's when, even though I still laugh at it when people like do like Cameron rap like this skits because they're fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
I stopped disrespecting it. No, you need to open your brain.
Yeah, man.
You need to listen a little harder because he said some shit.
Yeah. Hey, you know, and not for nothing. And we'll get to it, because like, Cam started taking bars off. It wasn't until after they peaked, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's when he started taking some bars off. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, Cam.
I mean, but you got the right to be lazy after a while, though.
For sure.
Because you think Hov didn't get lazy?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, because now we're talking 5 years. It's 3 years in, but it ain't quite working for them, right? And here's the interesting thing that I like to talk about, because I want to say, maybe I had this conversation before. Maybe this was an argument after a card game or something. I don't know, or during the game. I don't remember. I just want to go back real quick. SD. I don't think we all understand that this was the start of make or break for Cam.
Yeah.
The next album, which I think you're going to go into, the next album I think you're going to go into, is one of the most critical turning points in rap ever. But proceed.
Well, I was watching the time, but I did want to touch on "Come Home with Me."
Absolutely. Come on, man.
I did want to touch on "Come Home with Me."
Listen. Oh, hey, look, and I got a Cameron mixtape in here with it. The boss of all bosses. This is when he got Vado, but they ain't Dipset stuff. But don't think the damn CD ain't in there without the scratches on it. You dig? So
hey, bro, you got a gold mine over there.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, man. Hey, look, real rap nerd shit. I really do this. Please.
Yeah, all my shit in CD cases. That was a horrible mistake. Horrible mistake.
But yes, no, I'm glad you know. Come home with me. Listen, Wang, I don't know how many Cameron interviews you've watched in your life and time, but Cam literally tells the story about how, from a career standpoint in music, he's 0 for 2, and how this rap shit ain't paying off. So I'm about to go back to selling drugs.
Yeah.
And when I tell y'all that Come Home With Me is one of the most important rap albums ever, if this doesn't work, we're probably talking about Cameron and Don Diva. We're probably talking about Cam and a man, yo, he had a couple hits. Why he crash out?
Well, definitely talk about it like he was a wash.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't realize how important, because when he was talking, I was like, wait, 2000? I'm like, nigga, didn't Come Home With Me come out in like 01, 02? I was like, did he quit rapping to sell drugs? I was like, yo, he was really about to get indicted. So like, it's like, and he had cases and everything. Boy, Just Blaze, did you save the day? Because damn it. But I'm sorry. Come Home With Me. It's here. But let the host do his thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's Dipset. I'm excited. I'm sorry.
I feel like Come Home With Me with when he dropped Oh Boy. That's what let the world, like, I don't think the world was up on Confessions of Fire like that. I don't think the world was on SDE like that. When was it 2 years later? Come Home With Me drops and he hits the world with Oh Boy.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck where you went. That shit was sounding off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't give a fuck where you went.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because that joint in the club, because it's no heavy like bass line. It's no heavy bass line, but the sample is so crazy.
The sample and that too, like, I know it was done before, but it was never done like the way those gentlemen did it, where the sample was throughout the song and the sample finished your bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that shit was so fucking cold to me. Like, nobody did that shit like that.
Yeah. And not for nothing. That's why this album right here is a classic, Wang. I don't throw the word classic around loosely.
And you shouldn't.
Right. But this album is a classic, and Juelz officially becomes a pioneer, because even though he don't kick off the song, everybody is documented as saying, nah, Juelz is the one that came with that flow with, oh, I'm going to rap to what the beat is doing versus just rapping all over the beat. So when he's doing the boy, oh boys, I was like, oh, wow. It never even occurred to me that I never heard that before, because it's so effortless from both of them. But yeah, like, and to me, that's what makes any album classic. What happened on this album that either never happened before or it changed everything after it? And that's just one thing that happened on this album. That's just one. I want to be crystal clear. Come Home With Me is a very important hip hop album. I personally believe it should be in everybody's top 100 if we're just talking about rap albums, classic rap albums, because a lot happens on this album. I mean, not to mention one of my favorite opening bars from an intro ever is on this album. But I'll digress and let you get back to this.
Okay, so let's get to the other public banger, of course. Hey Ma.
Yes. Yes.
So those two alone, we just use those two because I don't want to be stuck on Cameron for the entire time.
I mean, hey, we got plenty of time. Hey, it's Dipset. It's a lot of time.
So now you got Hey Ma. Now, me personally, I am the biggest Juelz Santana fan.
Okay.
Right now. Not even knowing the information that you dropped before. I done seen this young man twice, and I'm like, who the fuck is this kid that's damn near the same age as me?
Right.
Rapping like this.
I'm
invested.
Get in the car.
Don't touch nothing. Get in the car. Let's discuss something.
Hey, you love him. See you tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm the biggest fucking Juelz fan right now, and I've only knowingly heard him twice.
Facts.
So, Cameron, thank you.
Absolutely, man. Hey,
because what you birthed, and I know they say it, the world says you birthed a fucking movement.
Absolutely. And
so,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, hey, listen, the way this album kicks off, it kind of told me everything I needed to know. Like, you know that you're gonna get something different and something that you never heard before. When him and K Slay are just talking shit before the song even start, and the beat is so hard, I was like, yo, why is he not rapping over this song? And then all of a sudden he was like, yo, we gonna set this shit the fuck off. Yo, where we at? Huh? He was like, yo, why advise you to step, son? Before I fuck your moms, make you my stepson. You'll be calling me dad. I was like, all right, man. All right, okay. Hey, love this. Love not taking this out the deck. Start like I ran the intro, but I was like, wait, no, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. I hit back skip on track one where you got to that bar. I was like, all right, no, we got to run that back. This nigga's crazy. And it's heat on this album, bro. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm gonna contain myself, but what I'm gonna tell y'all is listen to Come Home With Me today and realize that a lot of the stuff that you're hearing on this album is the first time you ever heard it on this album. And that's why it is a classic. I don't know how y'all feel about the rest of the Cameron/Dipset catalog, but if you're going to call one album a classic, which you should be calling two, but the one is this one right here. Come Home With Me. It is a certified classic. There is no discussion moving forward. Sorry, Wang. Let's get back to your show.
Okay, so 2003, Cameron gives us diplomatic immunity.
Dipset. What? Ow.
So outside of the Let Me Know video, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is only now I'm finally getting visuals of Jim Jones.
Yes, because
like,
he was
kind of like the
he was the director of all the videos in on Come Home With Me.
Right.
So
but he was kind of like if you don't know that part, he was kind of like viewed as like the hype man.
Yeah, for sure.
So Diplomats drop. You got Cam, you got Juelz, you got Zeeky. Was it Cam, Juelz, Zeeky, and Jim on the cover?
Jim Jones.
So the album starts the intro of Uncasa.
Yeah, what's really good.
I'm not going to dive too deep into it because I don't know why that man's career did not flourish. Because I thought the young man was dope.
Yeah, hey, listen, man. Yeah. Hey, one thing that is for very sure that Cam definitely had an eye for the talent for the guys that could really rap. And
but I wonder though, because they say a lot of the people that was pulled in, it said it was Jim's ear.
And that's cool if they want to say that. But I'll say the only reason why I give Cam more credit is this, because Cam, not for nothing, is the center. He's the nucleus, right? Sure, I'm not saying that Jim doesn't have a good musical ear, because as the marathon has continued, he's shown that, oh, wow, you know what? He's actually making really good songs. Now, look, at this time, the last thing I want to hear is Jim Jones rapping. I'm going to be honest with you. I have never been sold on Jim Jones. The one thing that I will not have on this portion of the live is any CDs, hard copies, or purchase in iTunes libraries of Jim Jones albums. I have zero. If it wasn't for streaming, I wouldn't hear his albums. So I do want to say that respectfully, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
But and I think that's definitely possible. The thing is, though, Cam had the vision for Dipset, and for the album to start with no member that we already know and heard of just from the singles alone, that's ingenious in a way.
Yes.
Because most people will say you have to start your album. Like the first verse, the first voice and verse we should have heard should have been from Cam or Juelz. Because we hear because of Dipset Anthem.
Yeah.
So why do we not hear Cam or Juelz first? Uncasa is like the first, he's the first name and the first voice. It was like, yo, who? But when my man is like, yo, I'm living in the equinox, niggas eat with Glocks, love steelers to cease the block, add yeast to increase the rock. I got knowledge that could teach my pops. I was like, okay. All right, he nasty.
What bad at all?
Okay, proceed. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's go.
So then they dive in. One of my personal favorite songs, because like I said, I'm already standing the fuck out of Juelz. Who Am I?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I think that song is dope, again, for somebody that we really don't know nothing about, that can get on the mic and give you some deep-hearted shit and you embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it ain't like we know your story, because we don't.
Right.
But you was dope enough to tell your story to where everybody could embrace your story.
Right.
Like, that says a lot about his skill set.
Oh, like, yeah.
The young man gets busy. Then,
for sure,
Ground Zero. Ground fucking zero. That I actually heard that the album was supposed to be called Ground Zero.
Really?
And they decided not to do it because of what happened with 9/11.
Yeah, which makes sense. Yeah, this is right after that.
Yeah, so they decided not to do it. I don't know how true that is, but I heard rumors that the album wasn't supposed to be Diplomatic Community. It was supposed to be called Ground Zero.
I mean, hey, they were called the Dipset Taliban, so that do make sense.
Yeah, so they decided that might not be good for record sales.
Right. Like, but it does check out.
But off the first disc, what was your top three?
Man, obviously Dipset Anthem. You know what? I'll go back to Real Time. I'll go back to Real Time. And with Real Time, Dipset Anthem, Who Am I, and the Hell Rail Phone Call.
Oh,
The Hell Rail Phone Call. Hey,
Real.
yeah, hey, listen. Hey, listen. I thought he was completely insane. Now, he said, I ain't make them fiends buy it. They was I ain't make them fiends buy it. They was begging for crack. Like Dipset, bitch. I was like, yo, like, yo. But though, hold on. Because I think it's still this one. Because he had 2 phone calls on this album, right?
Yeah.
Because now, but the second one, though, and I think it's on the first disc still. But when he was like, see, the streets is watching, more money, more haters, fuck them all, keep flossing, more linens, more gators. And even Cam was like, ooh. I'm like, yeah. I was like, okay. I was like, yo, I don't know who this jail nigga is. I was like, but he cold. I ran that back a few times, nigga. Ran it back a few times.
So, if we're gonna talk about Hell Rail a little bit too, but trust me, he don't want us to talk about it. But he don't want us to talk about it. I guarantee you that.
Oh man.
Okay, so we're gonna skip a little bit. We're gonna go to disc 2.
Okay.
Me personally, I think disc 2 was better than disc 1.
Really? Okay. Okay.
And because My Love with Freeway was such a motherfucking vibe.
It is.
That shit was groovy as fuck.
It is.
Yo, that shit was super groovy. Goddamn, like, I don't mind the version with Jimmy on it, but I would rather have Santana and Freeway. Just,
man, listen. I was upset when I heard Jim Jones on there to the Freeway. I am not gonna cap. And that might be where my original disdain starts for Jim Jones. Because I heard the Freeway version forever, it felt like. So when we get to this part where it's Jim Jones, I was like, no, what the fuck are we doing here? But hey, look, if you're gonna step on the work, give them a little something extra, I guess.
Yeah, you can't step on it too much though.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But no, hey, listen, because hey, look, and then at this time, I'm really starting to get high on Freeway. Like, I'm like, yo, Freeway's actually dope. I was like, the voice is kind of cool. It was, again, what's so great about just 90s and 2000s, especially early 2000s rap music, was that originality like really mattered. Like, it really, really mattered. Even if you didn't catch it right away, even if it wasn't your bag right away, it was just like, but he different though. Like, he don't sound like the other dudes on the track with him. Like, he actually saying something. Like, it makes you cut through whatever he's doing and in the package to listen to the lyrics and be like, oh, yo, no. Dude with the voice is kind of like, he kind of going crazy on this.
Freeway always gave me this like he was always whining. Like just a whiny ass little brat. But I fucked with it though.
Yeah, for sure. Same.
Okay, so you've given me your early 2000s disdain for Jim Jones.
Yeah, easy.
How did you feel about the first though?
Wait, I'm sorry. Which the first what? I'm sorry.
The song. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the
Oh
first of the month.
no, hey, listen. When I tell you I didn't like anything, Jim Jones, like I didn't give their ballot part 2 a chance
I
because
did.
Jim was on it.
I just thought it was a bad idea.
Yeah, oh yeah, it definitely was. I was just like, and see, and this is the magic of Master P. Because Master P may never go down as anybody's favorite or greatest rapper. But what he chose to do to songs, in retrospect, it worked better than any other thing you could have thought of at the time. And he don't really say anything like outstanding, but when he was like, I represent where them killers at. And it's just like, hey, no, this hard. Like, and all they did was do that. And I was like, like, and Cam can obviously rap better than Master P.
Yeah.
But I'll still take the original over that one.
Yes. Like, this is going to get interesting as we go into it because I'm probably going to piss you off.
Hey, I already know where this is coming. Hey, listen, you let me know in the pre-show where this was going. And that's why I'm trying to give as much love as possible in the front of the show because I already know what's about to happen as we leave this. As we leave, I already know what's about to happen.
Okay, so in this too, give me your top 3.
Top 3, definitely. I'm ready. You know, hey man, I'm not even gonna deviate, man. Hey, I really mean it. And I'm kind of deadlocked between the DJ Enough freestyle and Santana the Great. You know, because he had Santana like, with Santana the Great. Hey, no, that's today. That's number 3, and that's just off memory. Like, and you know what? I used to think Disc 1 was always superior to Disc 2, but I think with time, Disc 2 has definitely aged better somehow. It's aged better. Those songs hit harder today than the ones on the first disc, which is wild because, man, in real time. But you know what? Dipset Anthem held so much weight. Dipset Anthem, that intro, Who Am I? Again, hey, I picked one of Hell Rail's Fallen Freestyles as one of my favorite tracks in the first disc. So that lets you know how I felt about the first disc in general.
Right.
But you know what? I'm with you. I'm with you, Wang. I got Disc 2 over Disc 1 in 2024 where we sit right now, for sure.
Yeah, because I really mean it. Mine was I really mean it. My love and the first, honestly. I love, but it was more for the sample though.
Yeah, for sure. I get it.
The sample was fucking crazy. The beat was bananas. But
yeah,
I was fucking with the first, but I'm not. But what I am going to do, I'm going to take the first out. I'm ready was fucking bonkers.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm ready was bonkers.
You know what I'm saying?
And say what you want to say. Everybody showed up.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? And I love that they sandwiched Jim in there. Pause. But that sample, Heatmakers is crazy. Like, that's probably still my favorite Heatmakers beat. Unless I'm about to get privy to something that they did that I didn't know that they did. I love that flip. And it made me listen to the original song that they flipped. And I was like, because at first I thought it was Diana Ross, Ready to Learn, but it's not.
That's not it?
No. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to it real quick. Do your thing. I'm gonna look it up again because like it's literally the song I think is ready to fall in love because it's but it's not Diana Ross though. I'll find it. Give me 1 second because I should have it in my collection. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Okay, so you probably think I'm going in one direction, but I can't go into that direction until we talk about the great one, Juelz Santana.
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's got to happen.
This young man took an opportunity with a half of his name, one opportunity with his entire name, dominated diplomatic immunity
for sure
over everybody,
for sure,
to give us in the same year From Me to You.
You're there, right? You're there, right? I got it. Hey.
It's
Dip
very
set,
hard.
No skips, no scratch. Dipset.
It's very hard for my 19-year-old self when this drops. No, I'm lying. Not 19. My 20-year-old self to not call this a classic.
Yeah, for sure. I totally get you.
So hard for my 20-year-old self to not call this a classic.
I'm sorry, real quick, just to rewind back. I didn't want to butcher her name. It's Barbara Mason. Yes, I'm ready. That's the sample they flipped. It's not Diana Ross. I was like, yeah, because I literally thought it was Diana Ross forever, and it was my mom. That was my mom that hit me to it, because I was like, because she heard me playing "I'm Ready" in the car, like, and this was like recently even too. She was like, hold on. She was like, I know that song. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah. She's like, well, not this one you playing, but what they sampled. And I was like, even at that time, I was like Diana Ross. She was like, no, it ain't that. No, it's somebody else. Cause that's and sure enough, she was just like me. She was like, no, because she was like, Diana Ross is cause I'm ready to learn. And I was just like, oh, I was like, yo. And then I was like, hey. And then sure enough, I looked it up. Barbara Mason. Yes, I'm ready. So Juelz Santana, though, From Me to You. Hey. Here we go.
That's it. When this dropped, being that I was already fucking with Juelz, and he dropped From Me to You, like I said, my 20-year-old head, this is a classic album. Jones said it the other day, and I wanted to argue with him. He said there is no album that you can play from front to back, and they're all bangers. I would have argued with Jones
From Me to You?
at the tender age of 20 that this was a classic album with no skips.
Dang.
I was not accepting defeat that day.
So, all right. So, but hey, though, because I think this is an important question. Looking back, though, as we are here 2024, which would make this album 21 years old.
21 years old.
Still a classic?
Fuck yes.
Hey, stand your ground, Wang.
Because I'm
stand your ground.
And I'm standing on motherfucking business.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, when I double back and I listen to it, because I still do double back and listen to it, there are certain songs where I'm like, nigga, you was dick riding. Feel. Relax a little bit. But great album nonetheless.
Yes. And, you know, I think I am going to revisit this again, because not for nothing, I know it's 20 tracks, and I'm usually very sour on albums that have more than 14.
Yeah, a lot of skits.
Yeah, Right. And see, and that's the thing, right? I'm not so sure. You know what? It's this album is tricky to call a classic because I think if this drops before Diplomatic Immunity, I think maybe people think it is. I don't think that you're way off here because Juelz Santana, to me, Juelz Santana to the 2000s is what Chief Keef is to the 2010s to me.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure that this ain't. And I don't care if it skips on here now. I don't care.
Well, see,
because
back then skits were the thing.
Right.
Like,
but no, I'm talking about skips. Like,
skips.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, skits. No, that's what. Hey, look, I love Redman, so I'm never penalizing your album because of skits ever. Okay, but like let's say even if I skip Wherever I Go, so what? You know what? Dipset Santana's Town is on here. Squall A is on here, and it's the first time I hear J.R. Ryder. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll say this: the better work overall, the better work got put on Dip Immunity. But if there's a sweet spot of everything Juelz Santana did in 02 to 03, if it all makes this album, it's most definitely a classic. I think, and again, this is hindsight, this is everything, but you keep the original version of My Love, you take Raindrops off, because I remember that. No, thank you. And This Is For My Homies off. I'll even say take Now What and Let's Go off, but you add Santana the Great, Who Am I, the original My Love, and
Ground Zero.
Ground Zero, and I would even say What's Really Good with Cam and DMX. I think you look at this album a whole lot different. This might be the greatest album of the 2000s if that's the shit on there. With the shit that's on here, because it's some shit on here.
Like, he came with it, and again, I'm so impressed by it because not only did you, because I don't give a fuck what nobody say, Juelz carried Diplomatic Immunity. One, he carried that double disc. Don't get me wrong, Cam came in and did his shit, but Juelz carried that double disc.
I'm not mad at that take.
And then gave you his solo heat within that same year. That boy was cooking.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. I think, you know, not for nothing, I think Juelz is also the pioneer of, my little man's get busy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you give that to J Hood. I don't think you give that to Bleak. I don't think you give that to, the Beans to Free Relationship or the Young Guns. I think when your mans got on, it's two guys for me that made that mean something. And that was Juelz Santana and Lloyd Banks. Those are it.
Yeah.
Everybody else, either you was hired muscle or you just weren't as impactful as those two guys. Because when Juelz came and then Banks came, it's like, oh shit. So like, now the big dog really got somebody up next. It's not the same thing as how Jay-Z kicked off Volume 2 and was like, Bleak's going to be a good rapper, the new and improved Jay-Z, and it just never happens for him like that. Like, Juelz was a superstar.
Oh yeah.
Lloyd Banks was a superstar, and it was written, and all they had to do was run the play.
I never understood how, like, when an artist be like, when they say that, like, my little man is up next. Like, I never understood why that failed so much. Because, like, DMX most definitely thought Dragon was finna kill shit.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is, Drag can spit.
Yeah, for sure. He's actually
but it just never turned into anything.
Yeah. Well, stiff competition. See, you say that, but then Eve and Jadakiss are there.
Okay.
Like, what can you know what I'm saying? Like, there's the thing about being next and got to compete with the master, right? With the head of the table. But when people think you next and it's just other hotter niggas around y'all, it's difficult. It's difficult.
Cause like when you use that term, I got next, every time the person got next, I always think back to Ludacris artist Lil Fate, always on the stage with that shirt, and we never heard next.
Yeah, never.
We never got next.
And you know, I think they're also, and people won't say this out loud, but I'm going to say it because this is made in 1980s. You also have to be at the top of the game to make a proclamation like that. You got to be at the top of the game or on top of your game. 50 Cent and Cameron may not be the best rappers in 2001 and 2003, respectively and prospectively, but they're absolutely the hottest MCs. And they, especially with one situation more than the other, they essentially put on rappers that were better than them. Because styles make fights, there was an argument that Juelz Santana was a better rapper than Cameron.
I would have said that back then.
There was also an argument, which felt like a no-brainer, that Lloyd Banks was a better rapper than 50 Cent.
I would have said that too.
So, and it helps that Cam goes platinum and 50 sells 10 million. So now, even if the bar is gold, you've succeeded. I think Juelz does go gold, but Banks sells 2 or 3 million. So I look at that, you know, like, again, Bleak was in a bad situation because Bleak's not a bad rapper. I think Bleak is dope.
Yeah,
and
Bleak's
I have Bleak albums.
Yeah, Bleak's not a bad rapper at all.
I have some Bleak albums, and he got some of my joints, some joints I love. But Jay didn't start selling records until the 5 million one, volume 2, where he says, yo, I'm out. Let Bleak take over. No, bro, you just did 5 million. Now you're the hottest. Now you can't leave.
You're stuck.
Like, hey, I know you tried to mail it in. Nah, but we like this Hard Knock Life shit. Like, you got to keep going. And then it gets sketchy from there. But no, Juelz, man, I mean, I guess he just becomes a victim of his own success in itself. But yeah, no, I mean, again, I look at Juelz Santana, honestly, sincerely, and this is no gas, this is no cap. I look at Juelz Santana as a pioneer in hip hop, honestly.
Yeah, because right after 2005, he drops What the Game's Been Missing.
Yes. I didn't think I had it, but I got it.
I didn't think you were gonna have it. I didn't think you were gonna have it.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I got into an argument about this album.
Oh, do tell.
It's an argument. Hey, me and JR Bang, and because I was further on the train with you, because he was like, "Yo, this album huff."
What?
Right? I was like, "No." I was like, "I really don't think so." I was like, it ain't got the energy of From
It's
Me
not
to
what
You.
the game's been missing. I mean, From Me to You, but
It's not this. I was like, but yo, this ain't bad. I was like, this ain't bad. I was like, look, it ain't the hottest shit out like we expected, but it's some joints on here. I was like, it's too long. It's 22. Pause. It's 22 songs on this project. I'm not really feeling that, but I was like, but yo, this ain't. I don't think this is a bad album. He was like, oh nigga. He said something so crazy to me. I thought we was gonna square up. I was ready to punch this nigga in the face. but we didn't come to that because it's just music at the end of the day. But I was like, dog. I was like, man. I was like, no. I was like, no. This album is just. I was like, it's supposed to make him the star we expected. It just didn't happen for him. But I guess when that's the reception from the people that, are considered like, the core audience, if we don't run out and support it like that, it just falls flat.
well, I most definitely had to cop it. I was in way too many arguments saying that Juelz was a better rapper than Cameron to not support it.
yeah. See, yeah. So you gotta buy it after you say that.
I had to. How do I argue that argument? But I ain't got what the game's been missing.
Facts. Can't. They'd be like, oh nigga, you don't believe that. You ain't even buy it.
You got it. You don't believe that.
That's how I give it up.
But I wasn't mad that I copped it because, like I said, it wasn't a bad album to me. It wasn't From Me to You, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Again, this is another one of those albums, From Me to You. This is where I get on my seat. This is why you can't have a bunch of songs on your album. Like this is one of the albums. Why? It's 22 tracks on here. 14 gets it done for me on this. And I think people should really adopt that more. Sorry.
I think honestly though, I think we're kind of now today. I think we're kind of pampered on the short album because this kind of off topic, but on topic with what we're talking about. I feel like with streaming sites now versus people getting paid for hard copies, why would I give the label 22 solid albums when I can give you 3 solid albums with 7 to 8 tracks apiece? Like,
good question.
Like me, just my brain thinking, if I have an album and I have 21 tracks, I'm gonna break that 21 up into 7. I just gave my label 3 albums. So I think we've kind of got pampered into short albums because logically it only makes sense for the artist to really see some cash.
Yeah. Because especially if you hit the threshold to go over with this time limit or tracks, then you kind of like in the hole. So no, I do get it.
Because like think about it, early 2000s, it was nothing to find out that this album was an hour and 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
Now you're getting full albums in 35 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Hey, listen, and not for nothing though. And then this is why I do challenge a lot of people's no skip arguments, because some of the greatest albums of all time, no matter the genre, they happen between 9 to 14 tracks.
Yes,
all of them.
Yeah,
45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes of a listen, because that is enough. It is enough. Like I never knew there were album fillers until rap albums, because that's the first time I ever heard it.
Because Usher's Confessions, everybody, man, no skips. I skipped quite a few songs on that album.
Yep, that and 87.
Happily. Yeah. So it's like, and people revere Confessions as, some people say it's the greatest R&B album ever put out.
Yeah.
So with saying that, if you believe that, if you still believe that, you're not going to tell me that you're skipping something. Or better yet, I think there's a misconstruction of the no skips. The song is tolerable enough to listen to.
Yeah, hey, listen.
You may even know the lyrics because you heard it enough, but you're not requesting it.
Yeah, people be lying, man. Like let's just put it out there like real. People really be lying. Like, and it's okay to make a case for an album being your favorite, even with skips. Because again, I don't subscribe to that. To me personally, I think you can have 3 to 5 skips on the album. And it can still be a classic.
Oh yeah.
Because my gauge is cultural impact. That is the undefeated stat for me. It don't matter what you do, where you are, what comes out, or who tries to argue. There are only so many outliers and game changers, and it ain't one every year. Like sometimes an album drops and you see things are just different now. And if your album don't do that in the first year or two, classic ain't even on the table for me.
No, I agree.
So, and then by year 5 through 10, I need to go back or I need to see like, oh shoot, you know what? They're doing this now. Or this is the new sound, but he or she been did it. Like, just like when Future first did the staccato flow. I was like, no, that's Project Pat. That's the second verse on Don't Save Her. And some people tried to fight me on it. I was like, no. I was like, it's either that or is Andre 3000 on Slim Cutter. It's okay. Slim Cutter Calhoun. I was like, it's one of those two, and I'll give him credit because he's part of the Dungeon family.
He's part of the Dungeon family.
But I was like, but he didn't invent that. Just throwing it out there. So
okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
So
Dipset.
yeah. So let's get to the part that you don't want to get to.
All right, cool. Because I know I have a pinpoint to where it starts. And I don't have the case because it starts here for me. And I was like, yo, man, I hear his voice way too much on this. I hear his voice way too much. And then when he was but on the lead single, I'm like, okay. All right, man.
But strategically, because we talked about it, Cam said, I'm going to let Juelz take the lead on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to get Jimmy out there. So he let Jimmy take the lead on too.
Yeah.
I'm personally against that.
So am I.
I'm personally against that because I was not a fan of Diplomatic Community 2, which is why I skipped past it.
Really? So you're not a fan of it at all?
I was not because this is the weird part. This is the weird part.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't against Jimmy. But my favorite thing about Jim Jones is the fact that behind Cameron, he would crash the fuck out. That was my favorite part about Jimmy. Not his rap, the fact that, yes, I will lose every fucking scruple I have behind Cam. Smacking off Koofies when he told Mace don't be Bethel, don't be Goody Goo Goo. Nigga, that was the funniest shit in the fucking world to me. I was telling people that shit for a month.
Oh man.
But when Jim dropped On My Way to Church, I liked On My Way to Church.
Yeah.
I did.
You and Bang. Y'all definitely tried to sell me on Jim Jones. Hey, but you know what? And not for nothing. To your point on diplomatic community too. That's when it did get out of control there. But you know what? Hell Rel, 40 Cal, and J.R. Ryder are why I got that album. But this is when Cam starts taking bars off. Because the Push It remix is on there, I believe. The Push It remix on there. And that was the first time I was like, yo, Cam, you wildin'. Because he was like, bam, bam, Cam in the handstand. Ha ha, Santan getting suntans. I was like, all right. What you think this is doing? And then Juelz made it no better. Where he was like, oh, what was the joint? I think it was on the AOI. Because this one they were just redoing this like 90s, 80s, 90s hip hop shit. He was like, shoot these Uzis, la, la, la. And then hit that Uchi, Coochie, la, la, la. I was like, all right, man. All right, you niggas are niggers. I was like, yo, I don't get it. I don't know. But I tried to give this a joint as much as I could. I will say I did Hell Rel, even though I do like the other version of Family Ties. To me, because I took one of these beats and used it for a mixtape. Hell Rel was kind of like the anchor, him and J.R. Ryder for me, because I didn't even like 40 Cal at this point. But when Hell Rel was like, and your own man won't acknowledge your G, because you ain't want to go to war like Muhammad Ali. Dipset, bitch. I was like, okay. I was like, here we go. Okay, now the project has started. And then it go right into a solo joint from him. I was like, oh, okay. Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah, they like he took number 2 and he was like, everybody that ain't mainstream, if y'all ain't popping yet, I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity to use the Diplomats name to get popping.
Yeah.
And J.R. Ryder and Hell Rel carried that whole album.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll probably say Hell Rel over J.R. Ryder because I like the thug shit Hell Rel was talking.
Yeah.
But out of the albums that we discussed, that's probably my least favorite.
Okay. Fair.
But like I said, but it was weird because me not caring for Diplomatic Immunity 2 and diving into On My Way to Church by Jim Jones, and the shit don't leave a CD player.
Wow.
It was like, there's no fucking way Jones elevated like that in a matter of months. Unless he was sitting on it, did the comp album, then dropped. Shit's funny like that.
Hey, you know what? Not for nothing. As low as I was on Jim Jones, the joint he had with Twister was like, I was like, yo, I respect this, but it's really because, I mean, Twister was
the guy right back then.
Yeah, Twister was going crazy. At that point, I was like, oh, yo, Twister makes anything better. He's just like Frank's Red Hot. Like, I don't care what you put him on. Like, this is fire.
Like, Twister, every time Twister jumped on something and did a feature, it was a hit. Like, Twister had shit on lock back then. But
for sure.
But like, and I don't think it's fair. But it is what it is. Because for Jim to be the non-rapping rapper, like, he was the guy that always swore he wanted to be behind the scenes. He wanted to direct. He wanted to, he wanted to piece everything together behind the camera. This dude's discography is fucking astronomical. Do you ever leave the studio, nigga? I didn't write everything down. I just wrote down some of my favorites from Jim. From On My Way to Church, Diary of a Summer, Pray for Rain, Wasted Talent, El Capo, The Fraud Department, the MOB, the Bird Gang, And I didn't even crack the surface.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? How are you? How are you the guy that wants to be behind the scenes, putting out all of this music? And because we can't forget this. I'll be down we end this conversation before you were the fashion icon of the group.
Yeah, true.
Like, don't get me wrong, Santana with the bandana, and yeah, we was walking around with the bandanas halfway on our head and shit, or not on our head at all, honestly. Just sat up there like a crown.
Yeah.
Yo, the Cameron hit us with the pink, even though I'm standing on this. I rocked the black and pink tuxedo to prom in 2002 before Cameron hit us with the pink Lambo and the fur. So let's get that shit clear.
Let's go.
Jimmy was probably the flyest nigga when it came to putting that shit on.
And not for nothing, him and Juelz, they were the first guys that were on the skinny jeans and the slim fits and all that. First, they were the very first ones, and they were early. That was like 05, I want to say they started that.
Yeah, it was like the way they described it, like they was trying to bring back that 1980s rock and roll, appearance back, but the rappers. And I couldn't get with the slim fits. I never could. That was never my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think I wasn't trying to find pants that had splatter paints, and what I remember we used to rock the big ass belt buckles.
For sure.
You think I didn't have a Diplomats joint? Had to be dazzles on it and shit. You think I didn't?
Hey, listen, everybody. Well, excuse me, I'm sorry. There was a legion of people just in Chicago. Hey, look, there were Vice Lords that were a Dipset chapter in Chicago.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's and I mean, when I tell you that they had the airbrushed Dipset shirts, they was at the Taste Deep talking about, yeah, we Dipset. I was like Dipset got a Vice Lord chapter, or Vice Lord's got a Dipset chapter? Like, which one? Because eventually you still got to be from Chicago, right? But after Diplomatic Community, the first one, and then all these albums that come after it, it was a whirlwind. And you would have thought, like I say this a lot, because Chicago, a portion of Chicago thought they were Harlem. Harlem didn't even seem like it was in New York anymore when Dipset was popping.
No.
Harlem seemed like its own planet, like not even the state. Harlem looked like its own planet when Dipset was rocking. And I think that's amazing, because even when you hear, like, for instance, rappers talking about Brooklyn or Queens or Miami, Atlanta, LA, like Houston, you still feel like, okay, but that's in America, though. When Dipset was rocking and Harlem was the place, it was almost like, how far is Harlem? Isn't it like next to like Neptune or somewhere, Jupiter somewhere? Like it literally didn't even seem like what they were doing was in the United States as we know it. So no, I'm with you when you say, just from the music to the fashion to everything, like everything Cam, Jim, and Juelz did, even Freaky Zeeky, like everything those brothers did, it was mimicked, it was borrowed, it was copied. I mean, from everything, from the bandanas to the belts to the ad libs to the type of beats dudes start picking. Like, you want to know a hard time making a mixtape and you just trying to get a different sound, and everybody was like, yeah, I need something like the Heatmakers joint. Like, even people got off the Kanye beats and the Just Blaze beats because they wanted something that sounded like the Heatmakers way. So now everybody's speeding up just random ass soul samples from they their daddy's collection in an effort to give you that Dipset feel. It was a time. It was a time. It was a difficult time depending on how creative you wanted to be.
And like even you talking about like people saying, hey, we need something that sound like Heat Makers.
Mm-hmm.
When Jim dropped We Fly High or Ballin', because people don't know that that's the name of the song.
Right.
That was the first time somebody ad-libbed behind every bar. And then that became a thing.
Yeah. Jones. Yeah. Dipset.
Like he was the first person to add, like, I'm going to give you a bar, but I have something to say on the B mic behind that bar. You know, we stay splashy, something, you're going to say something. And then that became a thing.
Like just yelling out random shit. Like even on the Dip one when he was like, Frankie. I'm like, all right, man. That's all right, man. What is this nigga doing?
But as big as that song had got for the summer, now people listening.
Yeah, true.
And that's different. Like just like how we said when Juelz was when Juelz on Oh Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody trying to mimic that, and it was so many epic fails. But culturally, the Diplomats need to be like in the same hemisphere as a Wu-Tang, as a No Limit, as a Cash, like the Clicks, they're easily top 5.
Yeah, I don't think anybody argues that. I don't think anybody argues that.
They came in and I'm going to shoot these from 2000 to 2004. I'll stop at 2004. Who was fucking with them? I'm not even gonna get a Rough Riders that. And I'm an X fan.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the only like team in contention is G Unit. Like that's it.
That was it.
That's it.
Like, man, maybe Cash Money.
No, sorry.
You wouldn't put Cash Money in there?
Sorry, nope. Because hey, and the thing is, and that's not me trying to be blatantly disrespectful to Cash Money, but for out of 400 Degrees, if 400 Degrees ain't the album, they got nothing.
Valid point.
They got nothing.
You got a valid point.
Chopper City, I get it. I get what y'all trying to do. Chopper City in the Ghetto and Block is Hot, and I get it. Hot Boys album, I get it. Guerrilla Warfare, I get it. A lot of that shit came and went. Like 400 Degrees is the one. If 400 Degrees comes out late, we probably sleep on that album. It's a good thing that came out first.
Yeah.
Because that, like, now I'll give them that, and I'll give Juvenile that always and forever. With 400 Degrees built Cash Money, if you want my personal opinion. I know it was working before then, and they got to that point, but without 400 Degrees, we don't give a damn what's happening in New Orleans if it ain't No Limit in them. But
that was my introduction. 400 Degrees.
Yeah, no, 400 Degrees, because and that again, one of those certified classics. You can't deny it's a game changer. But yeah, the rest of the 99, 2000 to 2004, nah. And for anybody that's willing to debate, let me know when the Carter actually come out. It's over. It's been done by that time. It's been done.
No, you're right. Maybe I was just trying to hopefully throw another name in there. But yeah, G Unit and the Diplomats for 4 solid years. Like, nobody was touching those boys, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and culturally, I think the Diplomats did more than G Unit did. Like, G Unit, y'all were just some gangsta ass niggas like we was.
Mm-hmm.
These niggas was moving the goalposts, man.
Yeah.
We finna make y'all niggas dress like us.
Yeah.
We finna make y'all niggas talk like nigga. We was running with nigga. We was nigga from little ass Freeport. Nigga, we run around this motherfucker talking about some what's really good.
Yeah. Hey, right. Hey, listen, man. Cultural impact matters. Dipset is iconic. I don't think you'll ever see anything like that again. And there's remnants of things like that. But I mean, shoot, not for nothing. To give YMCMB some credit, had they stayed together, maybe they're the next ones, because that's Wayne, Nicki, and Drake and Tyga. I don't like I don't like the disrespect for Tyga, because he got bangers, but I don't but it's just too many people for one reason or another. You don't want to be like them or shouldn't want to be like them. So yeah, so we're back to Dipset and G Unit. We're just back. We're just back. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and if the tank tops hadn't flopped, it'd be a tighter race. But it's a runaway. It's running away with the baton. Hey, look, Michael Johnson got the baton, and all of a sudden the race was over. That's Dipset. I don't know. I don't know nothing else. I just know Michael Johnson got the baton, and the race was over. That is it. Dipset, G Unit, everybody else. Well, Wu-Tang, everybody else. That's my take.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody touching the Wu.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, you know, and it's unfortunate that all great things come to an end, because I would have loved to see at least the crew stay together. But hey, and ironically, the beef between Cam and 50 is what ends it all. You know, like that's what ends the run. And since it does, I just want to say this was the last moment that they were all on the same page. I just want to highlight a couple albums real quick, and then I want to show y'all how much I was invested. You know, Purple Haze. You know it. You know it. None of them on there. You did. And then, but this is how invested I got. J.R. Ryder's debut album. I have it.
I had it. And
this is, and hey, yo, History in the Making. Hey, yo, not for nothing. Hey, yo, he really rapping on this. Him and the dude SAS. That's my favorite joint. Why Try? Hey, the London accent is always hilarious to me. But he was tripping. Me and my man Micho used to recite dude verse. My chopper get to spit and you're thinking it's about to make the band. You know what I'm saying? And then, hey, hey, but J.R. Ryder going crazy. Why Try is my favorite song on there too, man. Then Memo said, pull up with a bitch and skate with a bitch from space. I'm talking sci-fi. Like, yo, hey, they going crazy. They going crazy on there. You know, you want to know how I was invested also? I was disinvested. You know who this is? You know who this is?
Oh, 40 Cal.
I got the 40 Cal album, the Mugga album. That's how invested I was in Dipset. And you know, and not for nothing, this is actually a dope album. And the intro, man, is actually, it's pretty heartfelt. He kicks off the album and said, yo, please call Jim and Cam and tell them stop beefing. Like, I thought that was really important, because not for nothing, especially off of his Fight Club victory over Sam Scarfo and the trajectory that 40 Cal was on, you know, him, Hell Rel, and J.R. Ryder kind of got lost in the shuffle, because as Jim starts ascending, the beef with Jay. Well, the beef with Jay too, though.
Beef with Jay too.
Yeah, but and also you know, 40 Cal and 50 and Cam, which I forgot Killer Season. I do have Killer Season. I don't want y'all to think I'm from, but we ain't about to waste no more time. But because this is what kicks it off for them.
Yeah.
Duke the God, Dipset, More Than Music, Volume 1. This is where I first hear my dog A Mafia on this. You know what I'm saying? I see your face tightening, but now I ain't with the face fighting. Trying to imitate Tyson, he gonna taste lightning. You know what I'm saying? I was really invested in these guys, and they had more to do. Dare I say, if the 50 versus Cam thing don't happen, they might run the table on this entire decade known as the 2000s.
They had the ability.
Because there were better rappers coming. Pause. Hell Rel, J.R. Ryder, 40 Cal, Uncasa might officially finally drop. I think that was it. I mean, Juelz has to double back. Maybe the Jim Jones, maybe I respect the discography a little more. I don't know. A Mafia. Because that was my guy. So, yeah, you think about it, and this is what, 04? So I named 5 or 6 artists that weren't the marquee artists, that if one of them and Cam and Jim and Juelz all drop every year up in 2010, I think we're talking about how they're the greatest faction of all time. And it's not even close.
That's a lot of fucking valid points, man. That's a lot of valid points, because it wasn't. Jimmy was the weakest link. Yeah. And he started to ascend.
Yeah. And when the worst rapper gets a hit,
through the motherfucking roof.
Your trajectory has changed forever.
Like when your wackest rapper, and I'm not saying that he, because Cam just kind of, I mean, for personal reasons, they said Juelz's situation is once his studio got raided and they took all his music, so he just said fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of left it for Jim to keep moving. But like I said, it's beef within the camp. People, goddamn it, that's still trying to get on, don't know whose side to be on.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron, you calling the shots. You created this.
Yeah.
And you disappeared on us.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
Yeah. Cam went through a difficult time, man. We were scrutinizing the lyrics. The 50 thing happened. And then I will say, as we talk about just rap beef in any era, it is a death blow when 50 Cent brings out Juelz and Jim Jones and he performed Ballin' during the G Unit set right after Cam drops Curtis. It's like, oh, so it's not all for one and one for all no more. It's not I for an eye, your beef is mine no more. Like what's up?
But that goes to say that there was something brewing prior with nobody being on Purple Haze. And the way that I just said that Jim was always ready to crash out for Cam. Mm-hmm. Why not now?
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, this is a long-ass album. But this is where, for some reason, the tide started turning on Cam. And I am here on Made in the 1980s to say, y'all were wrong. Computers Putin is not a whack bar. It is hip-hop history. I'm going to tell you, I've been defending this because I never knew it was a whack bar until people started saying it.
I never said it was a whack bar. I just need Cameron to tell me how do you make a computer puke.
Hey, I got this one, even though I love for him to do it. So when the beat dropped, again, hard beat. But I never thought twice. I knew exactly what he meant when he was like, I get the boosters boosting, I get computers puting. You get shot at, call me, I do the shooting. And I was like, yeah, computers compute. I was like, he can't say, I keep computers processing. It's like, no, it ain't swag. It's just not swag. And he said, I get the boosters boosted. I get computers processing. Y'all get shot at. No, nigga. What does the computer do? It computes shit. Okay. Well, look, even I get computers computing. It's like, it's flow time. Now the beat is on. The beat is on. I'm swagged the fuck out. It's like, dog, no. And if you and if anybody, and I know people feel me on this, if you ever written a rap, if you've written down a rap in a pad before, or if you just freestyle before, but let's go back to just writing. Sometimes your correct grammar just don't hit. It just don't hit. Like it's been some stuff I wrote the complete sentence. I was like, nah. I was like, this sounds stupid like this. So I totally got, computers compute. But look, I'm just gonna say Putin, because niggas know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I get the boosters boosted and I get computers puting. It's just like, I was like, yeah. I never thought about it. I never, because the thing is, it's a more egregious laugh out loud bar at the end of the second verse. Like when my man, well, we ain't even gonna get to that one first, but I loved Rex and the Fat, Zoom Zoom and Boom Boom. Movie Cocoon, have my Uzi platoon, killer, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Hey, and then when he was like, make it do the hokey pokey, pull the pound up and down, turn yourself around, showing it. I was like, okay, Cam, we didn't even need the third verse. You just like the beat. Like now the beat is so hard, you can say anything on it. But yeah, hey, I never, again, just try it. You know, he probably could have said, I get computers computing. Y'all get shot at, homie, I do the shooting. But it don't stand out. It don't stand out. So literally, it literally took Dipset to fall off and people to be like, yo, man, that computer's computing was some bullshit. I was like, it was? I was puzzled. I was super puzzled. I was like, what? I'm like, you don't know what he mean? It's just...
When you say it like that from a rapper standpoint, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but what I'm getting is sometimes you have to say something ear-catching.
Yeah.
It's like, because like when I heard it, again, my young ears, I'm just going with it. I get computers, you get shot at, call me. I'm just going with it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I'm like, older. What can nigga say?
Hey, listen. Hey, yo.
I'm fucking with the song, but the fuck that nigga say?
Yeah.
And then it didn't make it no better because I've never really said it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't make it no better until him and Brandy was doing them fucking skits and Brandy put that shit out there.
Yeah.
So, but I'm like, okay, like I get what you said. I'm like, but how do you make, nigga, what's the puke?
Hey, look, that's what the computer do, nigga. Like, hey,
computer gonna puke.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm trying to think of something I've said before, but it's like, as a complete sentence, because you got 4 counts within each bar. And sometimes style just has to take over. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just sometimes style just has to take over. Unless you have like a certain type of flow. See, now on the flip side, this is why I'd be like, G Herbo never rapped off beat. It's just been in syncopated rhythm because he's saying the full words. If he was to swag it out, catching the 2 and the 4 versus the 1 and the 3, you'd have no problem.
That's the reason we got you here. The music guy, the saxophone player, the rapper, the rap nerd. Like, break that shit down.
Yeah,
make this conversation mean something.
Yeah, hey, like that's what I was like. Everybody's like, man, he be rapping on videos. Like, no, he's not. He just rapping on the 1 and the 3. And I was just like, but y'all criticize when niggas shorten words, take words out, cut them. So now he's talking and he's rapping in a syncopated rhythm over the beat on the 1 and the 3. Just because you can't do this to it, don't mean it's off beat.
See, that was my next question. I wonder if Herbo has rhythm. Like, is it if he's doing this 1-2,
yeah,
is he on the 1 and the 3?
Yeah, no, he is, because I'm like, yeah, my name's Herbo. I like nasty girls. I like sassy girls. Little ass sassy girls. It checks out. He's on beat. If you cue a metronome up, he's on beat. He's just on the 1 and the 3 and not the 2 and the 4. That's it.
Makes sense to me. It makes fucking sense to me. Well, shit, brother, we 2 hours in. Is there anything that you want to get off your chest about the amazing Dipset?
Man, you know what? I'll just leave it simple at thank you. You know what I'm saying? Dipset was a time. Dipset it really was the movement that they said it was. And even with so much success, there is still a what if that exists. Because unfortunately, as they've gotten older, collectively, Dipset just ain't Dipset no more. And I want to say that, circling back, it's pretty clear that Cam was just going to make it regardless. No matter what Cam did, he was going to win. Because unfortunately, during the peak of his career, his former best friend at the time, Mace, was nowhere to be found. Him and Mace go back and forth, get into it. Thanks to $1 million worth of game and a call from Gillian Wallow, they're able to piece it up. Now they have the hottest sports show in the world, depending on how you feel about Pat McAfee's show. And Cam has a whole other, just not only revenue stream, but business model and plan. It's like he hasn't missed a beat. Versus literally didn't even matter. It's now a blip on his radar, because between Pink Horsepower and It Is What It Is, Cam has just proved like, yo, I'm really him. I'm really supposed to be here. I was going to win regardless. Unfortunately, you can't really say that about the majority of the other gentlemen that were in Dipset.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, I do like the tandem of Mace and Cam better than I do the tandem of Mace and Jim or Mace and Juelz. I mean, I'm sorry, Cam and Juelz or Cam and Mace. I really do. Only because it's the sum of your circle argument. Because, yeah, he won with Juelz being the youngin' and with Jim being the muscle and Zeke just being this crazy cousin. Like, he won. And he won in a big way, impactful, game changer. But as the lines got blurred, see, we never really knew what Mace really did to Cam.
Right.
But it was involving money. Unfortunately, we watched what Jim and Juelz did to Cam.
Right.
And even though it don't matter how real or fake you think rap beef is. You let that happen in this era where you can show up with the ops, no matter how real or fake it is. Hey, look, there's situations with Gunna and Thug right now, right? And Lil Baby. Like, who do we believe? Right? We're trying to ostracize one guy, but he keeps making hit records. Meanwhile, all the real dudes ain't put out shit yet. So now you're blurring the lines. Once Cam and Mace realized that, you know, maybe this ain't all what it seems, now all of a sudden, they can get back and it's like they never left. Juelz, unfortunately, the reality TV and just through things that look like he's falling upon some hard times, or he's rebounding and he's back. Doesn't mean that he's not a pioneer. No. Doesn't mean that he hasn't contributed great impact. But, you know, now even Jim has left him in the dust in the aspect of just rapping. Like, now we're in a situation where out of all the members of Dipset, Jim Jones is making the best music. Mm-hmm. And is that best for business?
I'll say, if that was a question, I'll say yes, because now in their adulthood, they're older, they're more mature, they're more wise, they're more seasoned. Everybody's found their lane. Mm-hmm. And it may not be rap music. Cam don't give a fuck about rapping outside of a freestyle here and there on It Is What It Is.
Which he bodies.
And he bodies every last one of them. So we know he's still capable.
Yeah.
We know he's still capable. But that ain't where the bag is for him right now.
True.
Juelz is doing his thing with the weed and shit like that, you know, putting out music here and there. But apparently, the weed strand is getting the bills paid. Mm-hmm. Feature here and there. Cool. Jimmy said, I'm in my bag right now with this music at the age of 50. Mm-hmm. Who knew? At the age of 50, I would be in my bag.
Right. But
it's working.
And totally nothing but respect as a 40-plus man looking for his bag, right? But fast forward now, as adults, grown men, what do you feel is capturing even an ounce of the Dipset magic of yesteryear? What Juelz is doing, what Cam is doing, or what Jim is doing?
None of it, honestly.
I say Cam. I say Cam.
What Cam is doing with It Is What It Is?
Yes.
In the peak horsepower?
Yes.
Okay, break that down for me.
Because, again, I'm a cultural impact guy, right? You had this year, this calendar year, since Mace has joined the show and invested his portion into the show, Cam and Mace got pause to get added to ESPN and Fox Sports commentary without even being on the damn show.
Okay, maybe I didn't understand the question right. I was trying. What I heard was, who's bringing the sauce of the early 2000s today?
Well, Sauce's impact is like the allure, like, again, because Dipset, we're the only movement moving, right? The strongest team. Who out of the three, and if you want to count Zeke, 4, but who is captured, even if it's just an ounce of that Dipset magic that's turning the world upside down right now?
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. He's still the one. He's still in the limelight, major.
And that is why, circling back to even the way whether Jim found Uncasa first or not, if he brought Juelz around, that's cool. Cam is still the idea guy. Cam is still he's the the Dr. Claw of the situation. He's still the Krang and Shredder to the foot soldiers. Like, there's execution and there's ideas. And I think the reason why those guys, Jim and Juelz, feel so slighted by Cam when he did go on to certain platforms and saying, yo, I'm waiting for the next album, or I knew this or I knew that, and this, that, and the third, it's because even when it looked like Cam is down, he up. And the one thing we do know Cam to do is execute. And that's been the Achilles heel of Juelz Santana, an artist who many picked to be at the very top of this game 20 years ago.
I feel you on that. And maybe it was one of those situations where they depended on Cam too much. Because once Cam had to, for the reason Cam had to step away, which I won't even, like I said, I won't discuss that.
Yeah.
For the reason that Cam had to step away, it's like nobody knew how to go forward without the decisions being made. Jimmy learned it
for sure
after he a couple failures. Going broke a couple of times. He figured it out. But back then, it's like he needed Cam to push him forward.
Yeah, hey, and you know what? And in hip hop, and this is definitely one thing I want to say as we talk about the whole Dipset story. In hip hop, we got to be secure and comfortable with that, man. We got to be comfortable with need and assist from our brother, and the stars being the stars, and everybody just won't be that, And I don't think it's a slight. I saw an interview with Nelly a couple years ago, and somebody was like, and one of the people in the room asked him, and you could tell he was agitated off the rip, but I gained so much respect for Nelly when he said it, though. He was like, the dude asked him a question, something to the effect of, so what, man, why did you blow up and really everybody else didn't? He said, because I'm a star. He was like, I'm a superstar. He was like, look at me. Look what I've done. Look what I did. And I never got in anybody's way. It just ain't meant for everybody. And I think that's a real thing. We can scream marketing, budget, promotion. You're trying to hold me back. You ain't want me to do this. You didn't give me that. But the thing is, if it's really meant to be, you can't be stopped. I think Cam has proved that. We're 30 years in. It's 1997. We've proved it. Okay, you didn't like 357 the horse and carriage. Okay, well then here comes Let Me Know. Okay, you didn't fuck with all that. Okay, well now here's Old Boy and Hey Ma. Oh, you didn't fuck with that. Okay, here comes Dipset Anthem then. Yo, you don't fuck with that. Why are you wearing pink then? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay, you don't want me to rap it off. Computer Disputing sucks. Okay, cool. Let me talk sports to you then. He can't keep winning if he's really not meant to win.
Yeah.
Because it's literally, it's impossible. Some people just can't be stopped. I gave Hov a lot of grace because I almost got on the train of, yo, he still everybody flow. He do this, that, and whatever. But look, there's something to be said about the guy that just won't give up because he has something. Yeah, he borrowed the Murder Inc. and Rough Rider sound for Volume 2. Yeah, he got outperformed every night by DMX on that Hard Knock Life tour. But, unfortunately, DMX couldn't stay clean and he stayed consistent. And DMX outsold him. DMX as an addict outsold him. But yet the blueprint still comes out.
Yeah.
The blueprint is still the blueprint. Look, Nas did not care about being a rap superstar. Illmatic did not go gold. I don't think it sold 100,000 copies. But there still it was written. No matter Nas is never at the top 5 or 10 of rapper sales conversations ever. He hasn't had the highest grossing tour. He hasn't had the one breakout song that everybody just knows, because If I Ruled the World is not that high on the charts. He's still regarded as one of the top 5 greatest rappers ever. It's just meant to be that way. We move people that have sold 50 million or more records than them and put him in the top 5. That ain't his doing. We bring up sales with everybody until it comes to Nas. It don't matter. That's real hip hop. That's real hip hop, though, bro. You can't disrespect Nas. Oh, he ain't go diamond. you say that to somebody, like, oh, nigga, you don't know shit about hip hop. That's what you're gonna hear. Kanye West, again. Say whatever you want about who was in the studio and how they create raps, whatever. Nigga, it's Kanye West. He is potentially the greatest producer of music. Like, he's up there. The albums are the albums, and the albums come out. Snoop is a gangbanger who almost lost his career to a murder.
Yeah.
When it was getting started.
Now he's America's mascot.
Yes, he is currently the most popular and recognizable rapper on the planet Earth. It's just meant to be that way. Outliers.
Sir, you said a whole lot right there. And I'm not going to put nothing on the top of that. I am Wang Dang. Please say the damn doodle.
Yes, and I am Care from the Port.
And as always, consensually, I've been wanting to say that for a long time. Love.